Trying to understand today's financial markets can feel a bit like trying to read another language.
Absolutely. And quantitative finance, well, that's kind of the Rosetta Stone, using serious math to make sense of it all.
Exactly. And that's our focus for this deep dive. Ratanlal Mahanta, he's a really seasoned pro in this whole complex world. We've gathered info from his roles, his writings, online stuff, basically trying to give everyone a shortcut to understanding a key player here.
Yeah, and what jumps out right away is just the sheer range of things he's done.
Right.
He hasn't just, stayed in one lane. Consulting, research, hands-on analysis. It gives him a very rounded view.
A holistic perspective, yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking financial risk management, super important now with market swings and all the rules. Plus quant trading strategies and the tech side too, computational finance.
And he shares what he knows too. Books, reviews. He's active.
So let's dig into his current role first, RSRL.
Okay. So at RSRL, he's a principal consultant, specializing in computational finance. A big part of his work seems to be FRTB. That's the fundamental review of the trading book.
FRTB. Remind me again.
Think of it like a really tough stress test for bank trading desks, making sure they have enough capital set aside for, potential big losses.
Okay. So he helps firms build the models they need for that, for different assets.
Exactly. It's translating these dense regulations into actual math models.
It sounds like he's involved end to end, pricing derivatives, checking the models are right, even designing trading strategies.
Precisely. And his skill with QuantLib comes in here.
QuantLib. Why is that significant?
Well, it's a big open source library, sort of a common language for building financial models across the industry. Helps everyone work together, innovate faster.
Gotcha. Like a shared toolkit.
And his work on optimizing VAR and expected shortfall.
Value at risk NES, the loss measures.
Yeah, the core risk metrics. Shows he's really focused on solid risk assessment. And he's even noted in that IFMR GSB placement report highlighting his consulting reputation.
Okay, so before RSRL, he was at GPSK Investment Group in Kolkata for a few years. Senior quantitative analyst.
Right. That looks like a shift towards more direct application, maybe.
Applying the quant techniques?
Seems like it. The focus there was more on actually building and testing trading strategies.
So like algorithmic trading, computers doing the trades.
Yep. Algo trading, finding the best way to execute trades, exploring things like machine learning, high-frequency stuff.
High-frequency trading, wow.
And he was reviewing books for Pact Publishing then, too, which shows he was really keeping up with the latest ideas.
The experience listed from back then is pretty intense. 4 years on trading strategies, FX, equities, derivatives.
Yeah, a broad range.
He wasn't just theorizing. Skills in R, C++, Python, MATLAB. Handling big data from Bloomberg.
He's got the tools.
And mentions volatility arbitrage, high Sharpe ratio strategies. That's real practical depth, isn't it?
Definitely shows hands-on trading floor kind of knowledge.
Okay, then there's BitQ SRV, a quant research firm.
Global firm, provides models to investors. He's listed with a few different titles there. Managing partner, quant analyst.
But still focused on quant trading, optimal execution, high frequency. Sounds like a theme.
A clear continuation from GPSK, yeah. Developing and actually deploying models for real money. Solving problems where markets, tech, and research all meet.
And there's that link, isn't there, between GPSP Investment Group and Novum Capital.
Right. Rajiv Mantri is a director at GPSK and founded Novum Capital, their VC arm.
So maybe Mr. Mahanta's quant work was part of a larger investment ecosystem.
It suggests his expertise probably wasn't just about the trading mechanics, but also how those strategies fit into bigger investment goals and risk frameworks, potentially.
Okay, so let's pull it together. Core strengths, financial risk management, especially the regulatory side like FRTB, and a really deep practical grasp of quantitative trading. Various markets, various strategies.
Plus the computational chops to actually build the models.
Yeah.
QuantLib coding.
Strong risk assessment skills, and he keeps looking at new stuff like machine learning.
And you can't ignore his publications. He's co-authored a lot of books.
Seriously, R, Python for finance, algo trading, even crypto trading.
And some of his earlier work, like the Machine Learning with R cookbook, gets cited quite a bit on Google Scholar. Shows impact.
Yeah, clearly valuable resources. And besides writing, all those book reviews for Pact.
That's a big commitment. Shows he's dedicated to quality in the field, staying current.
His Google Scholar profile lists him as a senior researcher at RSRL2 with broad interests.
Computational finance, machine learning, data science.
And he even presented on open source financial LLMs recently. So he's right at the cutting edge with AI in finance,
It all sits on a solid academic base, too, that masters in computational finance.
which blends finance, math, computer science, essential for this kind of work.
Totally.
And finally, his online presence, LinkedIn, Talk Markets, shows he's engaged with the community. Google Scholar underlines the academic side.
Yeah, what really stands out is this consistent theme: applying rigorous quant methods to solve real financial problems, regulatory hurdles, complex trading.
Right, so for everyone listening, that gives you a pretty comprehensive picture of Ratanlal Mahanta's contributions. The sheer breadth and depth is impressive, isn't it?
From risk models to HFT and sharing that knowledge.
Definitely. So here's a final thought to chew on. We see the rise of open source tools like Quantlib, the power of AI hitting finance, like with his LLM work.
Things are moving fast.
How is all this going to keep changing quantitative finance? And maybe more importantly, what skills will be the most valuable for people wanting to get into this field going forward?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? A lot to think about there.
For sure. Definitely worth exploring areas like FRTB, algo trading, or ML in finance if this sparked your interest.